everybody, welcome to card readings. I'm Margaret. If you like this card, put your thumbs up if you want. Now, I'm going to tell you a story and then I'll lead into why I chose mental health here. So, the story is here in Australia, it was on Channel 7 News. I don't know if it was Sydney or Melbourne, but a guy went into McDonald's, went to order something. The cashier asked for a test for COVID-19. He just loses it. He throws things around, paper, cash register, all that kind of stuff. He goes to court, he gets charged. He says sorry, he knew he did the wrong thing. Something else happened, but I'm not quite sure. So the thing with this, I was wondering what was going on in his mind, because it was all someone just asked him for a test, right? And I was wondering what was going on in his mind. What did he was paranoid? Did he feel like he was worried about having COVID? Was he worried about if he had COVID, he had to go into lockdown and that makes him isolated? Or was it all just building up inside of him and he just had to let go? That kind of stuff. So I was worried about the mental health side of it. So I'm saying to you right now, if you feel like everything's coming to you and you feel like you're worried about yourself, like you're washing your hands more often, you're going to have to shower more often, like every 5 or 10 minutes, or you feel you're isolated, or you feel like you're more angry about things and that, seek help, okay? Medical or a friend, whatever, seek help. Because it's normal to go through it, but it's not normal to have it, like the kind of way I can put it, because this is going for a year. COVID's been going for a year, and I do feel like it's going to go for another year. And this something is out there, and this is why I use this guy, and this is why I'm using COVID, because COVID was it is a big thing in our life, yeah. And when I tell you the story with COVID, you might stop and think about this guy, yeah, and think about what you're going through, yeah. Because like I said, going into a major change or a major loss, like you lose your partner, you've been through a bushfire, flooding, you lost your friend, you know about someone having cancer, stuff like that. You're gonna go through this kind of stuff. It's normal, but it's not normal in the sense that you should seek medical help. That's what I'm trying to say, because it's not normal to do it, yeah. So it's normal to go through if you were like you have depression, but if you're going for a long time period with it, it's not normal, yeah. So yeah. So I'm gonna tell you a story about Cobra and why I thought about this guy, yeah. So it's all started about in November. We heard about it in February. And there's a guy went to the market, bought a bat, he ate it. He caught Cobra, right? Somehow it spread from him to these other people. So China thought, well, we need to pass this on to the world for some reason. So the world hears about Cobra, yeah. So the lockdown their border. No one can go into China or that area of China. So that's okay. In February the 14th, I think it was, here in Sydney, in Australia, we hear about a boat being sent into Sydney. No one can hop on or off this boat because there was 250 people. I don't know if it's 20% or 20 people caught Cobra, yeah. Doors locked into their rooms. Every second day they can go on their part where you can go outside, yeah. Every second day. Everyone was tested every day, and they were there for 2 weeks. Some of them caught it, like I said, and some of them passed away on the boat, yeah. So that's what happened. A lot of this was put on the news especially Sky News. Yeah, so you hear that. So that's been happening. They went to Australia, no, sorry, Sydney Island. I mean Christmas Island, or Kangaroo Island, here in Australia, where they have campsite where you have overseas people coming in illegal to go there for some reason. I don't know how, the whole story behind that, but they were using these two places. So they have to be locked down in there for 14 days and let out. So anyone who had COVID would go there, yeah. And they were going to build a hospital there, right? So that's fine and dandy. That's okay. Later on, COVID spread it. Britain, London, America, Germany, Australia, New Zealand, right? Donald Trump got COVID, I heard. And I think the guy from Britain, the Prime Minister in Britain, he caught COVID. He went to hospital for 7 days, came out and had to go back in. Yeah. So, and then you had the celebrities had it, yeah. So we had that. But then it came, because it got so bad, it went into the thousands and into the hundreds, millions. I mean, things had to happen, right? The borders were shut. You couldn't fly to overseas. So you had a certain day that you had to be back in Australia, and if you were living in Australia, so you had to be a resident. You couldn't be a traveling person at that time. So if you live in Australia, you can come back, but you had it by a time. And if you didn't do it by that time, the borders were shut. Yeah. So that happened. So we had that happening, like I said, all the borders were shut. To that was if you were working in that state, you could cross that border, but you needed a piece of paper saying you were working, yeah. But to the point where later on got worse, no one was allowed to cross borders, yeah. So that's been going on. Then it lead into shops where at the start you have to wear masks 1.5 meters apart, and you were only allowed to have certain amount of food, 2 liters of milk, 1 packet of rice, 1 packet of flour, a pack of toilet paper, stuff like that. So you had a limit of stuff you needed. That was lucky if you got it, because it was, when it's gone, it was gone, yeah. So that happened. Shop was shut down. Certain shops weren't open anymore, like your bookshops, stuff like that. Then you had your restaurants. It has to be delivery or takeaway. That's it. I know in Melbourne, I don't know in other countries or states where they had the next level of this lockdown thing, where you can only have one person going to the shop from your house, and you only were allowed at 5 k's, I think it was 5 k's away from your house. No further, or you get in trouble, you'll be charged, okay? Anywhere else, you can have your family members. I don't think you had allowed to have friends around at that stage. If you had COVID, you were meant to stay in your house for 14 days. What else? No traveling. What else did I put in? So yeah, so that means because everything was locked down and closed, people will lose their job or less hours, right? Hotels will bought, some hotels will open just for COVID. So if you were from overseas, this is in the early stage, you had to go in the hotel for I think 14 days, and then you were allowed to let out and do whatever. It's the same now actually. So you had that. What else did I put in? Yeah, so then they lead into COVID, I mean Black Lives Matter, and there's a reason why I'm putting that in. What else did I put in? Yeah, that's pretty much it. but it's interesting because certain things in it I want to share with you, like shops. Use the shop, the supermarkets. Okay, you walk in the shop, you know you only have a limit of things that you need, yeah. But imagine you go in, you get what you need, and you probably do this every couple of days to make sure you have enough. And you worry about that when is this going to run out. Now imagine this: if you're a person who went into the shop, there was nothing there, nothing that you needed, like toilet paper, perfect simple Cobra toilet paper, yeah. So you went in, you go get toilet paper, you get enough just for what you needed, but it's not there. You go and get milk, it's not there. So you do your right thing, but nothing's there. So here you are worried about when am I gonna get the next lot, yeah? But then you got these other people who goes in and get it. When is this gonna run out? Yeah, so you got that discern. You got your hotels where people are going in, they might have Cobra, and if you had Cobra, when can you get it come out? Do you have to wait for a month? So is it a month, like 2 weeks you have Cobra, then 2 weeks that you haven't got Cobra kind of thing. So you got that, and how close are you to someone who has Cobra, yeah? Then you got your cozy guys, doesn't matter if they're trained or not, and then your cleaners. You think about them. Are they worried about, am I going to get Cobra? Am I going to pass it on to my family or my loved ones or my friends? That kind of stuff. Same with hospitals. Yeah. Please either go into houses, check people having Cobra, and are they doing the right thing? Are you worried that that police officer got Cobra? Are you worried that you got Cobra and you're going to pass it on to them? Yeah. So you got that discern. Your work. You might be one of these people who your work was stopped because you had the shop or the organisation wasn't that important, yeah? So that place was shut down, right? And here I was thinking, okay, when will I go back to work? Where's my money coming from? When can I, if I have bills, can I pay for it? Do I have enough money for food? And if I do have enough money for food, can I pay for it? And if I have to pay for bills, is that shop or that service open for me to pay them? So you discern about that. You discern about, say if your loved one's overseas and they can't get back in Australia, are you discerned about, well, you would be discerned about it, where is my loved one, are they close to people having Cobra? Has my loved one have Cobra? Are they passing it on to them? Are they going to die from it? So you worry about that. Then you can see hospitals with people with Cobra. Yeah, they wear masks and all that, but then you get your people from TV coming in with masks or whatever on it, but they're filming this thing with Cobra. If I was on media, I'd be worried, am I going to get Cobra? Because hospital is probably one of the highest risks with Cobra, yeah? So yeah, but then on top of that, you might be a sports person and you're not going anywhere to do sports because you can't go out. These sports, in simple little things like golf, the stops for golf is a simple thing. But then they say if you run because you're building up a stretch, that water coming, your body stress coming out of you, you don't get COVID. So you go out, you run, you think you listen to some wise David Cost, that's where I heard it from. You hear it, you do it, and next minute you catch COVID and you have to be tested, yeah. So stuff like that. So you hear rumors on top of this, yeah. So you get that going on. What else did I put into it? In your lockdown, like you're in a house on your own, you've got no one to talk to. What's going in your mind? Like, is it, oh, I hope no one's kissing cobra, I hope I don't have cobra, and I hope I'm not spreading it, discern. And if you do go get a test for cobra, is it going to show it? And if it's not showing, and I've got cobra, it's when I spread it, yeah. And do I really know when it stops cobra? Yeah, that kind of, when I haven't got cobra, that kind of stuff. Food. If I touch someone else's food, am I going to catch cobra? But I can go to restaurants and have their food, that kind of stuff. You can see the mentality going into someone's head who think cobra is real, yeah? You can see it going through. Then on top of that, you got your Black Lives Matters, right? Where you have people going to a march with cobra. I mean, with Black Lives Matters. Yes, someone with a mask, but that's not effective. Hopefully we go by Black Lives story. Cobra can go into your eyelashes, into your hair, but it's just covering your mouth right now. And I think it always has been covering your mouth. So people be discerned. Do I want to go out and talk to the people who's connected to, they might have cobra, because they're only wearing masks and that's it. They're not worried about their hair and their eyelashes. Yeah, so you get in the picture, like it's quite. Then in with Black Lives Matters, you go and get tested. You might go and get tested. You worry about it. You get tested, and I heard it takes up to 24 hours. I could be wrong. I heard it takes 24 hours to be tested with cobra. Yeah. Then you got 24 hours of worrying. Do I have cobra? Who have I seen since then? Have I passed it on to that person? Yada yada yada. Okay. And then on top of all that, here we are. Here we listen to media. 9 minutes. Yeah, you have 1.5 minutes apart. Next minute you have to wear masks. The next minute only one person in your housemate can go into a shop. Next minute this shop's this shop. So you're thinking, okay, what's the next step? Is it gonna get better or is it gonna get worse? Yeah, so you worry about all this stuff. And at the same time, you've been locked down into a house or a building that you can't go out for a number of days or number of weeks, depends where you are in the world. You discern that you might be getting frustrated, you might be so isolated, you are about catching cobra that you wash your hands every day. I mean, every 5 minutes. You might have a shower every hour, half an hour, because you worry about cobra. You discern, you hear stories like Dark Rose said, about cobra going into your hair and forehead and stuff like that. So you discern, so you're hearing things about it and you think, yeah, that makes sense. I should look more into that, yeah? So you worry about that. So think about all that, and on top of that, this is where I don't get it, but there's two missing people out there. I don't know how this works, but two missing people out there. So you got these people thinking about, do I go out and look for this person? Do I worry about COVID-19? Has my whatever have COVID-19? Are they worried about COVID-19? Have they run away because of COVID-19? Or did someone took them COVID-19? And do I go out and look for my loved one because of COVID-19? If I have COVID-19, do I go and look for them? So you can see the whole mentality here, don't you? There's a lot of discern about the whole cobra, and this is why I chose cobra. And how something I would say someone just made up, but no one really thought about the outcome of it. Yeah, no one really stopped and thought about how is this affecting people in the mental health wise. and it would affect people with this, make people angry, make people isolated, paranoid, uh, discern. Do I want to go outside and worry about COVID? Do I want to stay inside? Do I need to clean up my house every day perfectly? Do I have to do it twice a day, kind of thing? Um, do I, once COVID's finished, do I want to go out? Is there still people out there have COVID? That kind of stuff. It's a big thing, isn't it? It's a huge thing. And like I said, I chose COVID because it's meant to fit the whole world. And it's meant to give, I would say, fear in people's life. But I don't think people really thought about it, how much fear there is related to something like this. Like I said, if you guys feel anything like this, like isolated, angry, no socialization in here, trapped in yourself, do more like washing your hands, having showers more, clean your house more than you normally would do, I would seek help. I would honestly seek help. But on top of that, I'm hoping media is watching this because COVID is one thing, natural things you can't help, like your floodings, earthquake, fires. Your loved one just naturally die, maybe from age, or they might have cancer, they might have a stroke. That's all natural stuff, and it does happen. And you will go through a what do you call it? I will go through something, yeah. You might go through anger. You might want to go out and sue someone. That's normal. It's a natural thing. You can't do anything about it. But COVID, damn you do and damn you don't believe it yet. I don't believe it, and I'm hoping media's watching this because it does affect people. And then if you don't believe it, like me, I still get frustrated. Especially when I went into a shop and saw people rushing around getting stuff that they needed and it wasn't there, or they overdo it, or they're worried about COVID and they're worried about, am I going to have enough stuff to last me? That frustrated me. I was okay with what I had, but it was frustrating me that watching people go through it. So that's the thing too. So it's damn if you believe it or not, but it's gonna affect you, no matter who you are. And this is what I'm saying with the media. I'm hoping that you watch this and think about what you're putting out there. And you kind of, as a media, you're not really practicing what you're saying. And I'll say this in this way. 3 years ago, you had this whole thing on mental health. It's all good. Depression, anxiety, stuff like that. It was really good. I think it was a year of it, yeah. It was really good. You had people like Tim from 100% His talk about it, Robert Williams, tennis players. It was really good. But you just turn around and did this with COVID-19. That's going to affect people's minds. Yeah. So I hope media watches this and listen to this. So I'm going to go back to this story and I'm going to repeat it again. A guy, it was on Channel 7 News here in Australia, on Channel 7, like I said, Melbourne or Sydney. He went into a McDonald's, went to order something. The cash register asked him to take a test for COVID. He loses it. He throws things around, paper, cash register, stuff like that. He gets charged for it. He says sorry, and something else. I can't remember the third thing, but yeah, something else. Now, after what I said just then, think about what do you think went into his mind when someone just went along and asked him to take a test for COVID? Yeah, and I'm assuming some of you guys out there who's not connected to the media would have felt the same. In one way or another, with the things I talked to you about, like, am I going to keep COVID? Have I got enough food? Am I going to keep my job? That kind of stuff. So think about that when you watch stuff like this guy got lost it. Simple that he lost it because whatever reason. It probably wasn't built up with the whole COVID stuff. I reckon it probably wasn't built up with it, and that anger just came out of him. So yeah, I'm gonna leave this, and I'll just help. Like I said, if you feel like you have anxiety, depression, or you do more things that you normally do, or you have no one to talk to, try and reach out to someone, medical or not. Try and reach out to someone and talk to someone about it. Yeah, because with COVID, it's a normal thing to feel it, but if it overtakes your life, it might be an issue for you. Okay, so that's how I'm going to leave it for you. Hope this is useful. I hope people learn from this. I hope media learn from it, and the people who's not connected to the media think about it, and I hope your life is doesn't. I hope COVID didn't affect your life, but if it did, seek help with it. And like I said, I'm just using COVID because it affects everyone out there, but it can lead into anything. An accident, fire, heart attack, someone you love passed on. It affects everyone, okay? But I use COVID because it's a who thing, and it's like I said, I don't believe it, but it still affects me. And I know people who do believe it, and it affects them. So it doesn't matter where you're from, you do or you don't believe it, it still affects you, okay? So I'm just going to leave that for you, and hope you like it. Subscribe if you want, and I'll see you next time for another YouTube. Bye.